I use natural, ordinary, boring guitar sounds most of the time, but if I didn't have a delay pedal, I wouldn't even want to make music. I'm satisfied by the reverb offered by most amps, and I've never felt the need to buy a reverb pedal. I've never owned a trem pedal, but I do have it on one of my amps with a handy foot switch. I don't use wah-wah most of the time, but when you need it, you really need it. I started with the Dunlop Crybabies. I had the original, I had the Jimi Hendrix, and a bunch of other models. And eventually I decided I liked the feel and the contour of the Morley wah pedals. So I bought a Steve Vai Bad Horsey, and then a Steve Vai Bad Horsey 2, and then they both broke. And recently I repurchased an original Steve Vai Bad Horsey. The contour is perfect for what I want to do with it, but that's just taste. Perhaps you would prefer a Crybaby. The guy from Pearl Jam did. I like phaser, but I don't use it most of the time. But some songs need it. I like chorus and flanger, and a lot of songs don't need flanger, but when you need it, you need it. Chorus works for a lot of things. It works for dream pop and neo soul and metal and grunge, new age and atmospheric gent music. I have a tuner pedal, but it has true bypass, so most of the time it doesn't count as a pedal. I own 6 distortion pedals, and I usually use 2 of them at moderate settings to push an already distorted amp. And when I say moderate settings, I mean this one is barely up. It's just like you start out and as soon as you get some dirt, you stop. Same with this one. Output's all the way up, but the distortion, not so far. And then the 2 of them together pushing the already distorted amp. So which combination, which 2? I've been experimenting. I change them every few weeks. Lately, I'm using a DoD 250 with an MXR 104. But a rat and a 2-screamer goes together really well. That's just personal taste, and you'll develop it. There's also an envelope filter somewhere, and although you don't need that for most songs, I do intend to write new material that features what the pedal can use. You can hear it on YouTube's Mysterious Ways, but I don't think I'm ever going to play that song. This is the tap tempo for the delay. It doesn't really count as a pedal. Signal doesn't go through it. It just triggers a switch. What would I add if a bag of money fell from the sky? I would replace the Boss delay pedal with a much better one. I would repurchase a direct box I used to have for the bass. I used to have a Sansamp Tech 21 bass driver. That thing was great. I would love to have one again. It'd be cool to buy some switching thing that could take this vintage flanger in and out of true bypass. It's kind of noisy. I do have an octave pedal, and if I'm playing solo guitar with a drummer, then I will be feeding 2 amps with the stereo delay, but I'll use an octave pedal to send an octave to the bass amp, just for some rumble underneath. And we got some recordings of that too. I've never owned a vibrato pedal. I got a guitar with a Floyd Rose, and I'm not afraid to use it. And I also don't mind shaking things when I'm holding stuff. I got a slide. There's a slide up here. I need to buy new pickups for some of these things. Some of these things need new saddles, new nuts. That amp doesn't have a reverb. Half of these keys don't work. This one's another video. This thing